What's up, Toy Fam, and welcome back to Throwback Thursday here on your Totally Cool channel. And I'm Big Joe, taking you to Third Earth, another toy adventure with the extremely exciting ThunderCats. Yep, you heard it. We've done a few ThunderCats episodes in the past. We've done 3, if I'm not mistaken. We've done Wily Kit, Wily Cat, and Snarf. So we're gonna go deeper into the toy line from the Super7 Ultimates. And we've got a very special episode for you today. So this is gonna be one hell of a toy adventure. So let's get right down to it. What we have for this episode is a very special figure. It's really one of the clearly special figures from this toy line, from this release, and this is from this is a very special release of the very famous Lion-O. Now, before we get into that figure, this is the original Lion-O. First one that was released, Wave 1, of course. Why would you release a wave without the leader of the ThunderCats? The Lion-O, the Lord of the ThunderCats. Yep, classic look. We're not gonna open him up yet. He's gonna be featured on the channel later on. This one is another version. This one's got the LED lights, the LED eyes. Yep. Yeah, so pretty much same color scheme. Reason why we're bringing this out now, just for comparison, because we're, for the third time in this intro, we are showing you a very special figure. There. Before we get into that, let's do a comparison. Let's do a comparison of the classic looking Lion-O, and then you've got the Hook Mountain Ice Lion-O, and then the similarly colored, the Lion-O that's similarly colored to the first one that we showed you. This is the LED Eyes Lion-O, and the difference doesn't just end there. It actually has 2 different sleeves. This one's got more of a regular ThunderCats look, the usual, right? But this one's very special because it's got that ThunderCats meets Frozen kind of look. It's got the icicles on here, got the blue, you got the ice blue tint. It's even very shiny that you can see your reflection in the box, and you've got the snow cap on the ThunderCats logo. So that is the box. For now, let's set this aside. Same thing for this one. Okay, guys, see you later. Let's do this very special figure, ThunderCats Lion-O. Yep. So let's take a deeper dive into the box. You see the frosting on the plastic window. Yep. That's snow everywhere. And then on the back, you see Lion-O Hook Mountain Ice. All right. I'm really excited because just looking through this window, I am really excited about what this figure can do. Let's look at the bio. It says, during a heroic attempt to rescue Snarf from the villainous Rotaro. By the way, we have Rotaro in the collection, and Vultureman. Same thing with Vultureman. Lion-O was dropped from the airborne Rat Star. That's Rotaro's spacecraft. Although he plummeted from a great height. Hero's fall was broken by the deep snows of Hook Mountain. Knocked unconscious, Lion-O remained buried in a snowdrift as his body took on a frigid blue coloration. It is fortunate that Lion-O's good friends Snowman and Snow Meow happened upon him. Snowman succeeded, we also have Snowman, succeeded in waking Lion-O, then offered him a flask of mountain herb medicine. Although the beverage tasted awful, it helped to restore Lion-O's health. That's why his color is just like that. So enough about the box, enough about the backstory. Let's get into the toy and let's open him up. There we go. always pains me to do this because I'm an inside the box collector, as you can see from the background and from the other backgrounds that we've showed you. But it's a toy, nothing like opening a toy and smelling that fresh plastic smell, right? Okay. Ooh, look at the back. There we go. Look at the inside first. It's a very nice ice background. Probably take it out and you could put Lion-O in front of it. It would still give it a nice look. Let's try that. Now, I think it's going to be better when we take the figure out. So let's put this aside for now. Let's show you the figure. Now, you've seen that through the looking glass or the window of the packaging. But to show you closer, it's got the short Sword of Omens, and it's got the full length Sword of Omens. It's got the open-eyed head, alternate head. Got the normal head. You've got the claw shield with that's supposed to be hanging by the waist, and you've got the claw shield that's closed. It's fisted, and this one's open. It's an alternate hand, so it's not really, you don't insert the whole hand. And it's got 3 other alternate hands. Some of them are posing, some of them a pair is closed, and a few are grasping onto something. So let's get right into it and this is the first time I've actually seen a ThunderCat or a Super 7 with a tie. So you don't have to cut it, you don't need scissors. It's a twist tie. It's a twist tie, and you can take it off. Okay, it's got that nice plastic protector on the belt to prevent the scuffing and the scratching. So let's take it out, take it off. There we go. Easy. Okay. As per usual, we take it out by the feet. Okay. Okay. Ah, all right. That's nice. That's nice. Man, what's wrong with your feet? Okay. There we go. It's clickety clickety click. Okay. Okay. Solid. Solid figure. Very solid figure. Okay. Kind of loose at the waist. Let's take a look at him. Okay. Now the hair is traditional Lion-O, so I don't expect him to do much in terms of... Oh, the head tilt is also nice. Can look almost all the way up. A little bit of down. Left, right is normal. Okay. It doesn't have... It has a waist twist. And it also has an ab crunch. But very, very tight ab crunch. I think it's gonna be loose. It's gonna be easier to manipulate if it's been played with a little bit more. And now you've got the shoulders. You've got the bicep twist. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And then you've got the elbows. The wrist also moves. Okay, it doesn't twist as much, but it rotates. It rotates. Okay, it rotates. The legs have, just like the Silverhawks, they do have some limitation, but this one's got more range. See, it's got more range than the Silverhawks, with the trunks preventing the legs from moving up. I like the articulation. It's got a very solid ball joint. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Very solid ball joint. Now the knees are also pretty nice. They do twist and they fold, they bend, but it's just a single hinged knee joint. And then you've got the ankle movement. It also has I think this one also, the calf also turns. The mid or the lower leg, if you would call it. There we go. So, wow. Okay. Articulation alone is pretty cool. Love this. Love the fact that it's got pinless elbows and knees. And you've got very solid musculature. Okay, now let's see what he looks like with the claw shield that has a slot for the So you can hang it on his side. Can you? Does it fit? Okay, this is one. Okay. Yeah, takes a little bit of effort, but it's not impossible. It's there we go. It's not impossible. It doesn't look bad. There we go. It's all the way in. There we go. Nice. And good thing about this is that you can actually stick the short sword of omen in, like so. Wow, that's nice. That's got a nice look to it. I'm really starting to like it. I'm really starting to like it. Now it's got a few more hands, so just the way, just like this, is already cool. Okay, but then let's see how he looks with the claw shield, the closed fist claw shield, and then you've got the open claw shield. Okay, let's try this on. Let's see how he goes. Remove the left hand and stick it in. Oh, easy, very easy. So much easier than the Silverhawks. Look at that. That's a nasty look. That's a nice look, if you ask me. That's a nice look. Let's try having the sword. Oh, okay. One mistake. You can't do the claw shield on one hand and have it hanging because it only has one. So you can remove this if it's got the claw shield. If you're gonna pose him, you're gonna have to remove one claw shield, just have one used, and stick this into his hand. I don't know how. Anyway, okay, that's not the hand for that. I think you can use one of these other alternate hands. Let's just pry it open. Remove this hand. Stick this one in. It's so easy. So much easier than the Silverhawks. I have to say. It's so much easier than the Silverhawks. Okay, not too bendy. Now this is going to be a challenge. Okay, just takes a little bit more push, but yeah. Eye of Thundera. Give me sight beyond sight. See, that's what I love about these figures. The Super 7 can really get articulated. It can do this, which is a very familiar lion-o pose. I'm really tempted to take the head out and just see. It's so much easier than Silverhawks. It takes a little bit of push, a little bit of force, but there's okay. There's that crack. Okay, is that a crack? I don't know, but I think it's okay. It's still good. Ooh. That's not good. I'll put a picture somewhere here, but this is not good. But you know, you're not gonna drop it on the floor. Anyway, so if you look at this is a typical lion-o pose, where he's got the Eye of Thundera. He's looking into it. Give me sight beyond sight. You know, that's nice. That's a nice look. And then he goes ThunderCats. Oh. Yep, that's a nice look. Now, we're going to cut to a different scene later on where we'll show you what makes this guy so special. Alright? But aside from these accessories, and aside from these things that we see on him, let's do a toy review. Alright, okay. So, the color is not typical, but it is a snow mountain hook mountain iced figure, so the color is very, very accurate. Okay, so let's do a toy review. First impression, you can never go wrong with Super 7 if it's something that you want to look at, whether it's inside the box or just standing outside. Very solid musculature. Like I said, you've got the tone of the muscles. You've got it's a bit it's really anatomically correct, if I would say that. And then you've got the different areas of articulation. Plus, you gotta love the pinless elbows and knees. I also love the fact that, you know, even if it's inside the box, even if it's outside the box, it's sturdy, it's displayable, it's a pretty cool figure. Playability, as you can see, it's easier to remove the parts and replace them with others. Unlike the Silverhawks, I don't know if it's something with the production, but this one's a lot more playable. You're able to do more poses. Like this one, you've got the stretched leg, and then you've got the bendy one. It's still stable, so playability is really up there. Displayability or shelf appeal. Shelf appeal is also top notch because this is a very limited edition figure. In fact, I had to get two suppliers. I had to call two suppliers to get this one, and that allowed me to have two. But it's still a very nice figure to have because it's not your run-of-the-mill color, and it's got a different feature. I'll show you that in a bit. Okay. Now, price point. Super 7 normally falls into the 3,500 to 4,000 pesos range. That's somewhere near $80 to $100, okay? Especially given the way if you're coming in late to the collection, you're going to get it more and it's going to be more expensive. But if you're just catching up with the waves that come in, you're going to get it at about retail or even a little bit lower than retail because it's going to be on pre-order. Now, before I jump into the final toy review, I want to cut to this scene and I'll show you what makes it so special. Okay, so this is how he looks like normally, and this is what he looks like out of the box, right? There's a special surprise to what happens to him, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so we're out here in the midday sun, just to be sure we get the lighting correct. But you've seen how he looked while he was inside. I will show you. It goes through a very significant change while it's under the sun. Let's look at the blue and see how he starts changing from blue to his original orange color. And it's really where the sun hits him that he gets really, really dark. Kind of like having a very quick sunburn. So as you can see here, the sun is directly interacting with him, and he gets really, really dark. And now let's look at the arms, and then look at the joint. The joint turns orange too, but very, very slowly. And underneath the neck, okay, so you look at that. The orange is really starting to turn really, really bright. Look at the legs. That's a nice tan. But the inside of the legs, still blue because it has not received direct sunlight. So it makes me think that this is not heat. It's not a result of heat, but a result of UV light doing something on the plastic. And I'll show you by looking at the knee and seeing how it interacts with the sunlight. See, there's already some orange forming on the knee. And it's going to take a while for that to creep in. See, it's slowly creeping. All right. Now the hands are the same. It does not change. Okay. So it's really just the body that changes. And if we flip him over, you'll see it still has some blue because it's not been exposed to the sunlight. And when we flip him over again, the orange part that was initially exposed to the sun would slowly turn light. See? Okay, so if you look at the back of the knees right there, it's really starting to turn orange. So that's a very, very interesting feature of this figure because it has that thawing effect. It looks like he's getting defrosted. from his time buried under the snow, under the ice, and he's now turning back into his usual color. Look at the shoulder, not being affected by the sun too much. Now it's going to turn orange. So that's a nice look. See, even the alternate face, and I can't show you that right now in this video, but the alternate face with the eyes open are also is also capable of turning orange. Okay, and that gives you a nice way of playing with it. If you decide to do a, like he's waking up from the ice where he slowly turns orange, and then you replace him with the eyes open alternate head, that would be a good way to play with him. See, even the nose is burning up. Even the nose is burning up. So it's really nice. Even gets into the crevices, into the nooks and crannies of the figure. So that's the special feature that I wanted to show you of this Lion-O. And it's really nice to see that it's got another layer to it rather than just an action figure, but it also has that color change. See? The shoulder is starting to change also. It's really, like I said, it's a very fascinating way to play with it. Maybe even gives your children an incentive to go out and play in the sun. Okay, so that's what made it so special. Wasn't that amazing? It was a feature that I never thought I could have. It reminded me of Zartan. When I was a kid, I had a Zartan that was a 3.75 G.I. Joe that changed color in the sun. It did the same thing, but this time, instead of getting darker, it got lighter. It looked more like the original Lion-O. So this is a very special figure because of that very special feature. So I hope you like that because I love it. So let's do a final toy review. And this is going to be a little bit tough because, you know, there's that neck thing going on. But there's also that other thing that just blew my mind. So, is it not cool? Is it cool? Or is it totally cool? Let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you think? I think it's totally cool. It's totally cool. Anytime a toy can change color right before your eyes, as long as it's under the sun, and then change it back to this, it's not permanent. It was just really, really, again, really, you know, got the toy changing colors and changing back was just an amazing look. It was an amazingly thoughtful thing to do. And I know they say it's a repaint, it's a recolor. No, it's not. It changes colors. It changes colors. End of discussion. And that is the end of the review. So thank you for staying tuned until the end. Don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Ring that bell button. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And always remember, this is Big Joe saying, toys are not just cool. They're totally cool. So happy collecting. Bye-bye. Thunder, 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 ThunderCats. Chinny.